Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Jewel. We are in part 2 of our envelope journal tutorial inspired by Treasure Books. We'll link the original project below, and this is my take on it. And so far we are at this stage, so if you missed part 1, I'll link that below as well. Okay, so we have our journal here in the front. We added the papers. We have our envelope flips here. And of course, this is made out of a large yellow envelope. And we have, of course, a pocket here that we are going to be putting another journal in there. And I'll tell you what we're going to do today. I just wanted to show you the front. And I came back and I did add reinforcement to the closure here. So, and I showed you that I was going to glue that off camera, and I did. Now, we need to reinforce this part of the spine too, because it is just an envelope and I have nothing over it. So, and then we're going to do that next and finish off the cover. And then I'm going to add a series of envelopes here. Got them all ready to go. And a waterfall journal here. And then we're going to move on to decorating everything. Okay, so with that, let's go ahead and get the cover finished. These papers I'm going to put aside. These are what I'm choosing to make the waterfall journal out of. Let me make sure, actually I need to get you this way a bit. I think that's good. Okay, let's go. I had shown you this image that I wanted to put on the front. So what I decided to do is do a die cut frame of it. So I did that off camera, and over here, I have chosen this piece of muslin trim to reinforce the spine. So the first thing I want to do is put that on. I was thinking about putting a piece of muslin underneath the frame, but I felt like it was going to be too much. So I also chose this piece of lace, like an antique style lace, and I want to lay that right here. So you're going to see that there, and then of course this closes, so I have to make sure and put this in the right spot where the frame, you can see the image and it's not over here. So first thing we're going to do is I want this piece of lace. I didn't want it to go the whole length because I wanted to see some of the muslin. I wanted this piece of lace right in the middle, and I'm trying to think if I want it to go that way or back this way. So I think back this way. So I think the first thing I want to do is actually glue that to the muslin, and then the muslin to the, let me move this aside, the muslin to the spine. All right, so first thing I want to do is I'm going to put some glue on here. And then put that muslin down. And I think this is going to be such a fun journal because of all the different envelopes to store items for your journal. So if you make one of these yourself, I thought it would be just, you know, all the stuff you need to decorate your pages when you journal will be tucked away in one of those envelopes. Okay, so let me just use this and get that on there. Now, I think that looks like it's about halfway. So now we'll glue this piece on the front here. So I'm just kind of eyeballing where I put the glue. want to get a generous amount. I'm going to go right up to that spine because I actually want to get some on that spine as it, excuse me, as it wraps around. Okay, so this goes right there, and I think I'll just blot this. And I might make another one of these. I pulled out this beautiful scrapbook paper called, I believe it's by Minty, called the Muse. So it's all about writing, typing, writing, you know, there's pictures of old-fashioned typewriters and all kinds of fun stuff. So I thought I would put a little bit on that lace. I have a couple more paper packs in there that, since I use so many digitals and I'm on the different design teams, I don't really get to use a lot of my scrapbook papers. Here, I gotta get a, I gotta get a wet one. So I really want to use them up, and I think this is a great project for that. Really great. I mean, I can add some of those in my journals, but what happens is they're a little thick, you know, they're a little thicker. So they're really pretty for covering, you know, the surface of your books, and, you know, you can really make some beautiful book covers with them. I mean, some of these are amazing, but this is the whole theme. So I thought we're just going to get the whole, you know, journaling theme, writing, and there was some really cute little cut-ups, a page of cut-ups. Look at that pretty vase of flowers, and like old ink bottles. There's a old typewriter. So I have these that I'm going to tuck in some of the envelopes to decorate the pages with. Okay, so now we've got the hinge on there. I mean, you know, just the spine, rather, reinforced. And what did I do with my, here she is. And you can see she's journaling. So she's going to go here. So I want to kind of mark where I want this. I think, let me pop it up here just a bit. And I think just like that. So I'm just going to mark the corner here and here. So I know that's where I want to place her. Now I could pop her up. I'm thinking, what if I pop her up a little bit? Let me get a piece of my fun foam. It's much cheaper. Fun foam is much cheaper, and you can glue it right down than the adhesive already foam tape. And I used to buy that like crazy when I was doing, let me see if I'm gonna like that. Yeah, I kind of like that. So let me see the size piece. So the piece is going to just be a little smaller than my cutout here. So I think there and maybe there. And I just cut this right on my, right here with my cutter. So oops, got to go through. Yeah, just got to kind of pull it apart. So maybe run a couple passes. Like my big cutter over there would have gone right through. So I save these when I want to do little pop-ups. So that's a fun fact. How to use foam. Whoops, too big. Still too big. Guess I didn't measure that right. A fun fact on how to use fun foam. Now let's see if I got this right. Yep. Okay, so now I'm gonna glue this right to that and then glue the whole thing down on the cover. So it gives it a little bit of a dimension. Back when I made cards, I mean, everything was about your dimensions. I went through a lot of that tape, and then I discovered this cheaper way to do it. Okay, let me just run my brayer. And there, look at that. So we have a dimension. Now I've got to line it up here. So I'll put the glue right on here. And I'll take a moment to say, if you enjoy my channel and enjoy this tutorial, if you could just do a thumbs up for me. And if you're not already a subscriber, to subscribe to my channel and trying to get the word out, because I've got some pretty good tutorials. The thing of it is, I don't take the time to edit because I just don't have the time. But I try to have everything prepared before I do these tutorials, so I'm not scurrying for things. So it does take a bit of preparation for me to keep moving, you know, through these. Okay, so we've got that, and look how cute that's going to be. We're going to use a Sari silk closure on this. All right, now we're going to go in here, and I think we'll go ahead and I want to do some more envelopes here. And I'm also going to add some pockets on these envelopes. So I'm adding quite a bit, and I'm thinking maybe next time I might not just fold it in half like Natasha did. I might make a spine, like a 1/2-inch spine, so there'll be more room. Okay, so I'm thinking I like the idea of the staggering. So just like this. And I thought I would also, let me bring it down this way, be able to put a tuck spot. So I think I'll start down here, and we'll start with this one. Okay, so I think right there, and I'm going to glue on 3 sides. Wait a minute, no, I gotta start at the top. Yeah, I gotta start at the top. What am I thinking? Because one gets glued to the next. So let me make a mark where I want these. Okay, so this will be the one at the top. I'm trying to center them. Okay, so we'll do here. And then we'll start with that one. Okay, so I'm gonna glue just the 3 sides. No, I really don't want to glue 3 sides. Okay, now I'm rethinking. How big of a tuck spot? Do I want a long one? Then I would only glue down each side, and the bottom one would be secured. And I think that's what I want to do. So for a nice long tag or something. Okay, so I only want to do the 2 sides. So you get me? So that way, your smaller items will be going in your envelope, and then your large items can go behind in here. Okay. All right, now we'll do our next one. And I want to close them to make sure. Okay, so let me make a little mark. What I did is I did already ink these, and I'm using a super dark ink. EK, they're dark, it's a dark brown, because I was finding that the other ink I was just using Distress. The Vintage Photo was just not dark enough. So there again, we're just going to do the glue on the sides. And I'm going to put that right where that mark was. Yep. So the fun part about this is, I'll show you when this is done how many places we're going to have to tuck. Now, when Natasha did this, she did some kind of book page. So we got to do 3 sides here. Book page tucks. But I thought, you know what, since this is all envelopes, lots of envelopes, let's do some envelopes. And I had these little craft envelopes, which I think are really cute. All right, let's let this sit for a second. Now, I could have glued these all together and then taken to the machine and just gone, well, I would have had to go here and then here and then here, but if you wanted to do that, you could. So now we have a big tuck spot that'll run all the way down to here. We will have our items to go in here. We will have a tuck spot here. We will have our items to go in here, and we will have a tuck spot here. So I thought that, you know, that's more storage room. Okay, so now we'll come back and decorate these after. We are going to make, let me check my time. I think we'll have enough time to make our waterfall journal. Yep, we have plenty of time. Now we're going to make a waterfall journal over here. Okay, so let me get the papers I want to use for that, and I'm going to use, let me move this aside for a sec, because I'm going to need to measure that. So I've got parchment, writing paper, and then this fun. So I thought you're going to see a waterfall look like this. I thought I would use these. Now I'm not sure how many pages I'm going to need. So let me show you how we're going to make this. I'm probably going to need 5. I'm hoping only 4. The number of pages is up to how big of a space you want for your waterfall. All right, so I'm going to take my first page. Let me pull this over here. And I want to see where I want this to land, and I'm gonna have it go here. She had put a pocket underneath here, and she wanted and so you could see the water. I'm not gonna do that because I have so much stuff going on over here that I knew it would be too bulky. So I know I want this to go down to here. So this is where I would make my first fold in the paper. And I'm actually going to make the first fold down here because I'm not going to hinge it over the top. And I'll show you what I mean by that in a second. Let me grab a pencil. And I think I'm just going to drop it down about 1 inch. And then this is where I'm going to make my first fold. Let me move this again, and then I'll pull it back and show you. So I am going to fold here first, okay, and of course I will have to cut this, and I'll do it after the waterfall is done, and then see, because it's going to be too wide. So there's going to be our first, right there, our first. I'm going to drop it here because I'm going to add a hinge here and then flip it and add the hinge there, so it can go like this and all the pages will come up. So you'll see, if you haven't seen a waterfall journal yet, or paper, you know, that's how it works. Now, this is to get the second fold. I'm going to measure how far of a distance I want between here and here. And I think I like that right there because I like this design. So then I'm going to mark my page right here. Okay, and I'm going to fold on that line. So I lined it up with the top of the paper, and you'll see how this works. So now when this gets tucked there, this and this are going to be the same. And then we just continue going like on and on and on. So now I know that I'm eyeballing it about that much, because that's what I have here. Okay, so right about that. And if it's not perfectly even, it's not a big deal. So we'll say that. And so I'm marking right at the top here, right at the top of my pages, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to fold that there. And now we're going to tuck this in here. So, and then these, I'll go like this because this paper looks like it's a tiny bit wider. Now we need one more. Okay, so we're gonna need one more there. And I'm gonna make it just a little bit smaller because I can tell it may not line up perfectly, but that's okay. As long as they, you know, do whatever you want to do with your journal. It doesn't have to be perfect. And so now I'm just going to fold this right on that line I made. Try to get it even. It's actually just folded right in half. And slip that there. And so now we have our waterfall. Okay. Biggest deal is right now is it's obviously too long for this space. So I'm just going to shut my journal like this, and I want it to go right about even with the journal underneath. So I know I am going to have to cut, and I'm going to stack these down like this much off. And I got to go to my bigger paper cutter to do that, guys. Sorry, I'm away from the thing for a minute because I don't have room on the desk, and I will not be able to get through all of these papers. And I'm gonna have a rough here. Oh, that's not gonna work. I think I can do it. Okay, sorry guys. Don't mean to leave you over there. Okay, so now I've got this, and then I have this to use in another project. You know, or I may pop it on a page and we'll see how big it is. Okay, now how do I secure these? Okay, so this, I might have to trim that a little bit. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to open up to the middle. Okay, and I'm just going to sew this. And I have my needle and thread over here somewhere. There it is. I got it ready to go. I'm going to do a simple 3-hole pamphlet stitch. Simple. Just holding these. I could clip them. That probably would be smart. I'm not the greatest at not clipping. Doing this when it's not clipped. So I'm just gonna clip there. Okay, I'm going to go in the middle. And about a quarter, maybe a ½ inch in each side. Okay, and we're quickly going to sew this. Back in through the middle. And the top. So you have all this extra journaling space. Let me turn this around, get it nice and tight under. Whoops. Take my needle off and tie a double knot. 1 and 2. And I'm going to trim this off. Remove my thing, and then we have our little waterfall journal. Now, moving on, we want to hinge this, and I was thinking the washi tape again, but then I thought, you know what, I don't want to do the washi tape because I want to do the muslin. So let me see. I thought I had a piece on here. I do. It's a little wide, so I'm going to cut this down just a little bit. I'm actually going to cut it right in half. And then that'll add a little, you know, a little bit of interest to the top of the waterfall. And we will probably put some kind of label here. Okay, so let's see, we need this much. And we're going to need 2 of those actually. So 1 for each side. So we've got that. Let me make sure that's fine. Yes. And let me do another one the same size. So this is probably, I'm going at a reasonably, you know, maybe a quicker pace, but you could, this could be a craft along too, guys. So you could do it exactly the way I did it and go and find that Muse scrapbook paper, get 3 envelopes, or, you know, just do the setup of the design, use coffee stain paper for here and whatnot. Okay, now we're gonna glue this to this and then to the book. So let me get a bead of glue here. Okay. Let me make sure, I gotta bring it back this way so I have enough to glue to the book. Okay, so that's on there. Now I'm going to go ahead and add my glue on this side. Okay, and let me see where I want this. Probably right, wait a minute. I gotta shut this to, gotta move it this way a little bit, right there. Okay, now I really want to kind of set that up a little bit before I flip the waterfall and put it on the back. So let's let that sit for a minute and we're going to move on over here to decorate these envelopes. I will put this piece on the back, so I'll flip this up, but I feel like it's just too wet right now. flip it up and add again the same thing on that side. And then, so let this sit, and then I'll show you how the waterfall looks. Okay, so let's move on over here while that's drying. And I want to add, first I want to do a little bit of either stencil or stamping on that. So since this is a journal theme, writing theme journal, I've got some stamps here that have script on it, the word journal, and then a script stamp here, and also a script stencil. So let me grab my brush, and I'm going to get, I think I might just use this chocolate brown ink here. I do have, oh, I don't really have a lot of it. I just have a little one of, whoops, Gathered Twigs. Walnut Stain's a pretty dark one, but let me just see how dry this is, because actually I'll do it on this little word journal, and we'll put that somewhere. So let me get my acrylic block, and this stamp is from Tailor Made Journals. She makes really cute stamps, a lot of really nice stamps actually. And let me see how dark. This is not very dark, but I'm going to, well, yeah, it is pretty dark. All right, let me get that right on there. And I'm going to stamp this on a little piece of muslin, and then we'll use it somewhere. So let's see. Okay, so we've got the word journal, so I will use that somewhere. And when you're stamping on your fabric and you have a strip of fabric, and you can do the whole strip and then wrap it around something and then just cut the pieces down. I mean, that would go cute there, and I might do a little something under it. So let me just flip that back there. So I think I do like this, so I'm going to try this. This color, I'll keep that one back there, and we will do a little bit of stenciling here. You know what I want to do on this side? I think I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to take this one and just do this, because I know I'm going to put a pocket here. I think I'm going to do a pocket on the other side actually. I'll show you what I'm using for my pockets. So I'm just going to go right on here, and I don't really care, you know, it's just for interest, see that? And let me see if I have any more there. Yeah, see that? So then when you shut that, you can still see that. Now I want to do a little bit more, so, and I know I don't have enough ink on here, so I think I like this area right here. Okay. I'm going to put this in behind it, and this is a stamp board, and you get a really good impression usually with this. So look, that looks really good. Now I'm going to flip this over, and I'll come back to these in a minute. And these were part of the cutout, the cutout page, and I thought how cute. What I decided to do on these is have a little pocket here, okay, but I do want to stamp that though. And I'm going to use the same one because I do like that one. Let me just get some more ink. And I really like this area right here. And I think this might be from Prima, this particular stamp. If you're interested, I can look and see where I ordered it. More than likely, Amazon. Okay, so now we have that. Let me just ink around this with the darker ink. And I am just going to put this right here as a pocket. And it's books. So how fitting. So we could put that word journal up here. We could do a couple of those. Okay, so now we have this little pocket here. Okay. I'm going to go ahead, I will come back and do some more stamping on this side, but I want to stamp on this side first and use the bigger one here, and then I have something for that side too that I came up with. Let me ink this. And I'm going to use this stencil on this one. There you go. And let me just add a little, get rid of the ink that's on here. All right, now we'll add this one here. Let's see if I have to cut it down a little bit. It looks a little long, it is. So let me just trim up. I think I'll trim off of this side of the book stack. There we go, that's better. I just love this paper line. The Minte papers are quite unique. Okay, let me make sure that this is, yeah, going to flip. Okay, so now we have another place there. I'll come back and do this side after, but let's do this. And I like this one a lot. What was the other one I had? Or those, I had one more, did I have one more script? No, I have the other ones, this one that says journal. I'm gonna do that on one of my journal pages. All right, so let's just get a little bit more here, and then I'm gonna show you what we're gonna put here. Okay, let me put this under here. Put that back there. Try to just get that flat and just press. Okay, so look at that. I like that. I want to just add some more of this. Now, out of my scraps over there, I cut with a die cut this here, and then did, this book page is from 1800 from the book called Lucille. And I'm just gonna put that right there. And I'm thinking we can do it as a tuck spot. So I'm gonna bring it down this way, and then we can, do I want a tuck spot there? I think I'm just going to leave it because I feel like the journal is just gonna get too full. So I'm just gonna glue the whole thing down. Now, I wanna show you, we must protect that page because it started to crack. So what I did, and I think I'm gonna have to stop after this next bit, and before I move on to part 3, because we're running a little long, is I pulled out my Mod Podge, and I'm going to just go over that that book page, just to protect it. So let me get the ink out of the way here so I don't put the book on it, which I've done before, and it had a big ink stain on the outside of my book. Get this out of the way. open up my Mod Podge. This is just the matte. You know, they have so many different ones. I put this on, this plastic on, so I can get my lid off. I've got my water over here and a brush, and this is so simple. Just put a little bit of that on there, and I'm just going to run it over. And now I've protected that book page. And it will have to dry. So in there that goes. And I think with that, guys, we're gonna move on, come back for part 3, and that will probably be the final part, and we will decorate it. Okay, hope you're enjoying the series. Have a blessed day. Bye-bye.